Here we are inside the Majestic 155 motorhome. If we first move over to the main control panel and turn the 12 volt on. Next to that we then have the water pump. Water pump off, water pump on. Whenever the water pump is running, so if I just come over to the basin and just turn the tap on, you'll see that when the water pump is running, the green light illuminates just to let you know. And then if I now turn it back off again, the green light will then go back out again as soon as the boiler is full. Next we have the master switch for all the internal lights, or they can all just be individually turned on and off on their own switches. And then the button for the awning light. Next we have condition of leisure battery. So as we can see, fully charged. And then we have how much water is in the fresh tank. This should be full as well, as I've filled it right up. This one here is just lights, and that acts kind of a bit like an entrancey type light. It will do all the top lighting just here. Beneath the main control panel we then have the controls for the heating and hot water. You will see we have water heater and then heating, and you'll see they're both off at the moment. If I now press this button here, you will see that we start to go over lots of different icons until we return to off. So if we start with the first icon, a little picture of a snowflake. This is the boiler's frost protection mode. So if you have water in the boiler but you don't necessarily want to be heating it up, you can put it in this mode here, and then if the temperature outside drops below 3-4 degrees, it will come on just to protect itself from frost damage. Next we have a single wavy line. Wavy lines represent mains electricity, and I always round it up, so I always say mains electricity using about 1 kilowatt. Next we have mains electricity using about 2 kilowatts. A little flame, so gas. And then we go into dual fuel, so a mixture of gas and mains at 1 kilowatt and a mixture of gas and mains at 2 kilowatt. These settings are very handy during the winter months if you want to get up to temperature really quickly. Also really handy if you have more than one person having a shower in quick succession of each other, or you want to have longer showers. Whenever the unit is consuming gas, where my finger is here, a little flame will appear just to let you know. If for some reason it failed to light, or if you're running it on mains, as I am as well at the moment, and you trip, etc., you will get a little red exclamation mark where my finger is just here, just to let you know there's a problem. Once you think you've rectified the problem, you will need to reset the control panel. So like I say, if it's here, we need to hold down this button here and then also press the plus button, and then that will reset the control panel. And if it's a heater issue, you hold the heating button here and press the plus. As you can see, a little flame's appeared here now, just to let you know that we are consuming gas. Next we have the heating. So same again, if I start pressing it, we'll go over lots of different icons until we return back to off. So if we start again with the first icon, as we now know, wavy lines are main supply, but down here, one wavy line represents about 500 watts. 2 wavy lines, 1 kilowatt, and 3 wavy lines, 2 kilowatts. Then we have, again, gas on its own, and dual fuel. We control the temperature on the plus and the minus just here. If we drop the thermostat all the way down to the little moon, this is what Whale recommends during night time if you need your heating on whilst you're asleep. A, it's a low heat, but secondly, the fan will be very quiet. And if it is a very hot day and you just want to circulate air without any heat, you can drop it all the way to the little snowflake here. And same again, when you are consuming gas, you will get a flame just appear here to let you know. I will now turn the system back off again. There we are. Next we have the habitation door. So the door is currently unlocked like it is at the moment. Flip it up and it's locked, and then to open just pull the trigger. All of these come with fly screens, and this particular van has also been fitted with the Malenko door lock, which can be locked from the outside and also from the inside. Next we have storage and one of the fold-up travel seats, and then the other side we have the other fold-up travel seat, but we also have the location of the boiler just here. You'll see there's a gas isolation tap there as well. This gas isolation tap is in the open position and quite frankly can stay like that. My motto is smell gas in the van, just go to the source and turn the gas bottle off. You will see the drain valve for the boiler just there, which is that little yellow lever. As it sits at the moment, it is in the closed position to hold water inside it. To drain it down for winterization, all you need to do is just come to the tap and turn it like so. Make sure the water pump is off, or otherwise the water pump will just frantically try to refill it again. So when it comes to refilling, all you need to do is have it back in the position it is now. Make sure you've got water in your fresh water tank, turn your water pump on, and then the water pump will begin to prime it back up again. When you are fully winterizing the van, always make sure that both the fresh and the wastewater tanks are emptied, the boiler is drained, and then I also always say make sure that all the taps have been left open. That way, if there is a harsh frost, hopefully the water will be forced out the end of the taps into icicles instead of actually expanding in the pipes and splitting them. Next we have the microwave, which operates on main supply. If we just move into this cupboard here, you will see where it is plugged in. As it shows on the front here, do make sure that you remove the contents for travel, but it behaves virtually like any microwave. Just literally twist for time. You've got stop, you've got quick start, power settings, defrost, etc. We then have the sink and the hob. You'll see we have 3 gas rings and 1 electric hot plate. If we're using the electric hot plate off the main supply, just come to this one here, twist it, and the red light will come on to let you know it's in operation. And then everything else is push in, twist, and then press the igniter down here. So if I now do that, I'll just show them all burning away nicely. Here we are. And then turning them off again. You then have the grill and grill pan just here. This dial here, push in, twist, and then again press the igniter. There we are. And then the oven below. Here we are. Below the oven we have some more gas isolation taps for the oven, hob and fridge. There will also be in here a plug, and that plug is just for the electric hot plate. Next we have the Majestic fridge. So we are off at the top here. If we want to use it on main supply, just flick it to the little picture of the 2-pin plug. Next we have 12-volt maintain for when we're on the move. And then gas. If we're wanting to use the fridge on gas, what we want to do is make sure that this line here is out of the white and into the green. So all we do is we come to the temperature control and hold it in, and then push the igniter. Just hold it in for a few seconds and then let go, and then as long as we're in the green we know that we are lit. And to open the door, just push down and there we go. As soon as I now turn it to something else, it will then put itself straight back out again. If we move to this overhead locker just here, this is where the solar panel regulator just sits. We do not need to do anything with this Truma regulator. As you can see, there's a green light flashing, which is just letting you know that it's charging the leisure battery. When the leisure battery no longer needs charging, it will go to a solid green light. The location of the consumer unit is just at the foot of the bed, and you will see that we have the individual MCBs all labelled up just here. We then have the main RCD and the test button, and then beneath that we then have all of the 12-volt fuses, again all labelled up. And these particular Majestic vans also come with automatic tank heaters, and the isolator switch for it is just here. So if I now flick them on, as long as there is water in either of the tanks, if the temperature outside now drops below 3-4 degrees, the tank heaters will then come on. If you do not want the tank heaters to come on at all, you can isolate it just here. If we now go into the wardrobe, we will see the television aerial is in here. To use the television aerial, just undo the collar just here and then push and twist into position. Make sure that the digital amplifier is turned on. It turns on and off on the side here, and then you can control the boost just here. What you can also do with these television aerials, if you want to, is make it flip from horizontal to vertical just by turning this part just here if you need to do additional tuning. Do make sure that the aerial is down for travel, and when tightening up this collar, do not over tighten or it will split. Also in here we have the freestanding table. Next we have the Omni vent fan. To wind open the roof vent, just twist here, and then you will see we have the on button in the middle, and then we have arrows out for extraction and arrows in for cooling. Variable fan speed, just keep pressing the button. If I now press the opposite, we'll then slow back down again. if I continue to press, the blades will then stop and then spin in the opposite direction. Do make sure that the vent is down for travel. If we now go underneath the fixed bed, you will see the back of the consumer unit just here. Make sure that you do not cover this part here, because the battery charger also sits in here and needs some ventilation. We then have the gas isolation tap for the heating, and then we have the water pump just here and the surge dampener just here, and then the back of the battery box and the main 12-volt fuse. We then just have the inlet and outlets for the heating. We then have the television bracket just there, and then the aerial fly lead point. You've also got 12-volt and main supply just there. And then if we just come down to here, we also have 2 USB charge points and another main socket. We also have switches here. This one this side is the light switch for the washroom. So we have the standard Thetford cassette toilet just here. To open to the cassette, just come down to the grey lever here and slide it across, and that will then open the cassette itself. Blue button to flush. You will get an illumination on here to let you know when the cassette needs emptying, and then to close the cassette back up again, slide across again. If this has been left in the open position and you're trying to remove the cassette from the outside, it will not come out. We then have the drop down basin just here. We then have the vanity cabinet just there, and then we have the shower screen just here. Just make sure that it is clipped back for travel, and then the shower head and the mixer tap just behind. Just here is the PIR sensor for the alarm. It is a good idea just to press this button every now and then and the red light will flash. That way we know it's working. The reason I always say to do this is because it's wireless and requires a couple of batteries. So obviously check this one. And then also, if we come back to the front end of the motorhome, also make sure that obviously you're checking the carbon monoxide alarm and the smoke alarm.